Breaking news from the intersection of politics and technology. Former best buddies Donald Trump and Elon Musk are now engaged in a throwdown for the ages. Best buddies no more. They are now anything but friends and may in fact be now the best of enemies. Let's get stuck into what has been going on over the past few hours. The heart of the issue, the trigger for the fight between these two men, would seem to be Donald Trump's big, beautiful spending and tax cut bill, which has passed the House but still has to get through the Senate. Now, despite what has been called, there's been a growing concern, which I brought to you last week, that this bill was not going to go far enough to cut spending and save America from going off a debt cliff. Elon Musk also called it out, and I agreed with him when he left Doge as his 130-day term as special government advisor clocked out. Because the thing is, Musk had a point. The U.S. debt is growing by something like $1 trillion every 180 days. That's not a joke, as Joe Biden would say. And the big, beautiful bill of Donald Trump doesn't go anywhere near far enough to fix the overall problem. Well, okay, that's a policy dispute, but boy, now it is personal, and there is clearly so much more happening behind the scenes driving this fight that has burst out into the headlines today. Because if you thought social media catfights were nasty in high school, well, check out what happens when the world's richest man and the world's most powerful man throw down online. Earlier on his True Social account, Trump posted this, and this was in response to a number of tweets by Elon Musk attacking the budget bill. Trump said, "Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy," Trump said. Trump followed that up with this post. He said, "The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it," he said. And Trump had this to say in the Oval Office just a little while ago.
"I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem. And he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate. He knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody. And he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape, he said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next.
Ah, yes, but I'm sure that'll be next, the president said. Well, hold that thought, because indeed, that is what came next. Elon hit back, and the word hit, by the way, also comes into this a bit later. Just trust me on this. Elon called Trump and House Speaker Mike Johnson out on their previous commitments to cutting spending when they say the big, beautiful bill barely touches a side. Musk also noted that he's always been against EV subsidies, despite what the president says, reposting this from 2021.
"We don't need the $7,500 tax credit." I would say, honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. That's my recommendation.
What about the support, though, for the charging network? I mean, there are parts of this bill. And
Musk has also gone through Trump's old tweets when Trump said that no member of Congress should be reelected if the budget is not balanced, something the big, beautiful bill fails to do. But, as foreshadowed, Elon also got personal. I mean, really personal. Writing just hours ago, quote, "Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT," unquote. Well, I don't really know where to go with this, though. Really, Donald Trump has no choice now but to finally release the full Epstein files, and not just those binders full of nonsense he handed out back in February to some right-wing influencers. But this all gets even more reality show, because if you look at this little shiner Elon Musk seems to be sporting in this White House press conference, well, Trump also made reference to this when he spoke in the Oval Office earlier.
You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk. And even with the black eye, I said, do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup. But he said, no, I don't think so, which is interesting and very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you could make that statement too, I guess.
That's pretty interesting. Why would he even bother mentioning this? What is this all about? Well, as I told you earlier, the word hit would come into play here. And the rumor that is going around, and I stress that it's just a rumor, but it's being pushed by Trump proxies, is that Elon received that black eye courtesy of White House advisor and deportation savant Stephen Miller. Because, and again, I stress this is a rumor, and there's probably nothing to it, I'm sure, but the accusation is that Elon made a play for Miller's wife, and Miller responded in kind. Wow. Anyway, it's just scurrilous gossip going around, but it shows just how far things have descended between the two men and their warring camps. Now, this is so wild that it's hard not to have a little fun with it. I mean, internet philosopher Jarvis, a very funny guy on X, posted this and said it was time for the pair to be forced to wear their get-along shirt. And others have wondered if the search term, how do I get the anti-Elon sticker off my Tesla without wrecking the paint, has started trending across the country. But there is more to this, too, and more serious stuff. Billions of dollars is at stake. Trump is pulling Musk's SpaceX government contracts, and Musk has shut down his Dragon space program. Is there some 4D chess going on here? You have to wonder. I mean, why are these two going at it like this? Is this cover for Trump to kill a bad bill? Is this some other political strategy at work? I don't know, but maybe. But this is still, though, the predictable result of what happens when you have two giant egos and two giant bank accounts and two men who think they're the one in charge in the same place. Because politics or no, this is serious business. And frankly, while I think that Elon Musk has a real point, because the U.S. debt is growing, as I said, at an unsustainable rate, $1 trillion every 6 months, this online tantrum is really destructive. Because in politics, you know, the perfect is very often made the enemy of the good. The big, beautiful bill does, according to the White House, contain $1.6 trillion in spending cuts and keeps tax cuts in place. And now, with both sides getting absolutely into the mud, the vital business of getting America back on fiscal track has been pushed to the back burner. As Donald Trump himself might say, sad.